PiratedWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go. Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay, and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir.
Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game?
Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won.
It's still the first quarter.
I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, are you ready for some Warren's hot dogs? Warren's original Hot and Judy's mild sweet chili hot dogs have been the official hot dog of sports fans for over 30 years. Pick up a tailgate special this football season of 10 or more hot dogs for only $1.50 each. Warren's in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and the new Chocowinity location next to the fire department. Warren's hot dogs. Want some? Get some. Go Pirates.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2022 Buick Encore GX. Save up to $1,250 off or 1.9% for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
The NFL playoffs are on Pirate Radio. Tune in Sunday for conference championship action. First up, the Kansas City Chiefs host the Cincinnati Bengals.
Here's the snap, ball down. McPherson's kick is on the way, and it is good, and the Bengals win.
After that, it's the San Francisco 49ers at the LA Rams.
High snap, put down, kick is up, and the kick is good. San Francisco has stunned Green Bay.
Catch all the action right here on Pirate Radio, your radio home for Super Bowl 56.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
There's local politics, bud.
I don't care about the weather. I can't control the weather. Don't want to talk about the weather.
Do we not agree? Sustained effort and violence.
It could be a total goat rodeo.
Cool, neat story.
Was that supposed to be funny?
This is why nobody else can get on the Sug boat.
You know what? We couldn't get on the Sug boat.
It's a test.
What's the point of kissing his ass if we can't get on the Sug boat?
It's a test. Y'all are haters and non-believers.
Sug. Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, happy Friday to you. Welcome in to Pirate Radio Live here on a Friday. Clip Brock here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250, 930. Also online, PR927FM.com. And you can watch the show on Facebook Live and on YouTube. I'll be monitoring both of those streams, and we'll get to your questions, comments, concerns, and otherwise. So you can chime in there if you'd like to be a part of today's program. Shirley Rhodes, CJ Schaefer in Studio B, Troy D to my left, Chandler Honeycutt also here at the big table. We'll talk to Brian North coming up later on this hour. Get you ready for your sports weekend. Tony Dunn will join us at 4 o'clock, CarolinaCatChronicles.com. We will see what's going on in Pantherland and get you ready for the AFC and NFC championship games coming up this Sunday, which you can hear right here on Pirate Radio at 5 o'clock. We'll talk to the voice of Minges Coliseum and Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, Morgan Ahlers. And later on in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll see what's going on in the world of golf with Mark Greenhill, Golf Shop Radio Show. He'll join us coming up later on in the program. Steve Hill chimes in with a Clipper! And also, first I'll welcome in our guest. We have a Troy D comment already as well. Troy, welcome to the show.
Hey, Clip, good to see you.
Must be something going on for you to be here on a Friday. We'll get to that in a moment.
It was an emergency situation that calls for an official response.
Okay, we'll get your official response on a situation coming up in a moment.
Very disturbing development situation.
All right, Chan Man is here. Hello, Chandler.
Good to see you, Clip.
Good to be seen. How are you today?
Good. Panthers have a offensive coordinator in Ben McAdoo. They just got a new special teams coordinator, so I'm doing pretty good.
All right. They filled those positions.
Yeah.
So you feel good about that.
Lucky you.
Good to hear. All right. It is Free Beer Friday. Coming up in hour 3, we'll make you a winner. Free Beer Friday brought to you by Bud Light. We are giving away some cool stuff today. How about some Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda? We got the variety pack for you. So that could be yours, along with a large 2-topping pizza at Domino's. We're also giving away a Pirate Radio prize pack on Twitter, so you can check that out as well. So we are the station for winners, and we'll have a winner coming up in hour number 3. All right, let's get to the rundown. Oh, by the way, the comment about Troy was from Robert. He says, I don't know if Troy's mentioned this or not, but this month has flown by.
I think you did yesterday.
I did. It has flown by. It's not over yet, though.
Hey, it ain't over.
What do you think about a Monday as the last day of the month? You kind of think a Monday should be the first day of February. But
True.
It's actually the last day of January, so it's going to kind of put next week in a weird situation.
I mean,
actually,
I might have to take off work. I don't know if I can handle it.
No, never mind.
What were you going to say, Shirley?
Shirley was
Nothing.
She was going to actually.
Actually, the first day of the month is Sunday.
This is Mr. Calendar you're talking
I know.
about.
Why are you questioning Troy on the calendar?
Because I like to question Troy about everything.
That is his specialty.
Actually, it's a good thing you call yourself, or we'd be making fun of you.
I just wanted to kind of slide my voice in there for the rundown.
Welcome
I
to
never
the
get
show.
to talk in the rundown, so I just kind of slide in there.
Anytime.
I just kind of
Shirley Rhodes is here, by the way.
Robert also mentions the days are getting longer. What do you want to just hear Troy's greatest hits?
Robert, they are, and I noticed that, and it's great that now it used to get dark at 5. Now it's not getting dark until around 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the time changes in just a little bit over a month or so, then it'll be 7 o'clock, and then it'll be getting later and later up until my favorite time, the summertime, where it stays light till about 9.
We are not here to talk about time. We have other pressing issues to get to, including Scotty Montgomery, former ECU head football coach, back in the news. Now there's a story about him being a candidate to be the Chicago Bears offensive coordinator.
All right.
As Michael Scott would say, how the turntables.
Yes. Is that what he said?
That is what he said.
Yes. I laughed my you-know-what off when I saw that Scotty Montgomery was going to be being interviewed for the Carolina Panthers job for offensive coordinator. I thought it was hilarious. I shared my thoughts with you about it being hilarious. Yep. I know you were concerned, as most of Panther Nation was.
Ha 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 ha.
I was concerned and scared.
Yes, and now I know what they mean by karma, because now I am concerned and scared, and you, my friend, are the one laughing. This was so disturbing to me, guys. I woke up this morning, and as I do, I like to check. We have a great team with Pirate Radio behind the team that is social media. A lot of folks think, anything that gets posted, it's just like they think I posted or what. We have a lot of people that are a part of Pirate Radio.
Definitely not the case.
Correct. But so I'll get comments like this was tough to post. I'm like, no, this was tough to read.
This was tough for Troy to hit send on.
So anyway, I read our post, and a lot of times I get informed by going to Pirate Radio social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. It's a great way to keep up what's going on in the Pirate Nation and in the world, really, for the sports world. And it's was posted, let me see, 6 hours ago. Hot read. Is former ECU coach Scotty Montgomery a candidate for the Bears' new offensive coordinator position? Quote, Montgomery has a wide-ranging coaching history at pro and college levels, and then it's a link to the article.
By the way, that quote is a fact. He does have wide-ranging coaching history.
My blood pressure spiked so much after reading that. I never even clicked the link. I couldn't even go to the story clip, true story. Couldn't even read the article, and I don't know whether I was being punked or not. You guys could have made this up for all I know. That's all I saw, and I lost it.
That's how I felt last week.
I could not believe that the Bears, which out of all the teams in the NFL, need an offensive coordinator that is truly exceptional, elite, to develop Justin Fields to his capability, would pick a guy that just ruins quarterbacks, that it does a terrible job of evaluating quarterbacks. Probably the worst hire you could find. He's already ruined my college program one time. Do I need him to ruin my program next? All right.
Violence!
I can't take it. I can't take another round of Scotty Montgomery. I don't have anything against him. I don't hate him. I just don't want him in my life. I don't want him in my team's life. Like, just
sounds
don't.
Like you hate him.
Don't be a part of my teams anymore. Like, I just don't. I don't wish him ill will. I just don't want to be involved with him anymore.
I feel like
have we not learned our lesson? I feel like I got to go to Chicago and warn these people, Clip.
You should send a strongly worded email.
I need to sound the alert, the warning bells. I mean, what are they doing?
I feel like he is trying to get back at us. I feel like he has a list of everybody at Pirate Radio.
I'm on the list.
I was on the first. I made the
list.
I was the first one on the list. He marked me off. He said, Troy Dreyfus, the Chicago Bears, they have an opening.
What worries me is the coach they just hired, Matt Flufferfuss. Came from the Colts.
Yeah.
Guess where Scotty Moe's at?
Oh, yeah,
Colts.
I brought this up yesterday as a joke.
I was going to say this. The good thing for you, Troy, is that this is just an observation article. Like, nothing is set in stone. The bad news is that the connection is there.
Yeah.
Eberflus, however you want to say it, is coming from the Colts. He knows who Scotty Montgomery is, but there is another candidate on this list that could be coming from the Colts. Mike Groh, the wide receiver coach for the Indianapolis Colts, who I think would obviously be a better suit.
Any relation to Al Groh?
I know we went through that last week because he was also a part of the offensive coordinator search for the Carolina Panthers. But you also have some more.
You know who the great coach would be for this job?
Jason Garrett, who I see this right here.
Well, how about a guy that needs a second chance, that has coached Justin Fields to his potential before, that currently available?
I said this a couple weeks ago, too.
Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer's out there. So he was at a bar and a girl danced on his lap. Should this guy be put in purgatory forever? Or does he deserve another chance?
Well,
It's called they'll take anybody over Scotty Moe. Is basically what you're saying.
John Gruden. So he sent some nasty emails and had some not nice things to say. Are we going to punish this guy forever? He would be a better decision than Scotty Montgomery.
All right. So your list is Urban Meyer, John Gruden. Who else are you looking for?
Anybody but Montgomery is what I'm saying.
All right.
OJ?
Actually, he would be a better option. He was found not guilty. How long are you going to persecute the guy?
All right,
he did his time for his other crime of the stealing his cards back, which were his cards, by the way. He would be a better solution.
Recently retired Ben Roethlisberger is going to be next on the list.
Great character, yeah.
Now is your chance. It worked for me. Now is your chance to guarantee that Scotty Montgomery will not be the offensive coordinator for your Chicago Bears.
Here's my question to you. You guaranteed it, but what was on the back end of that guarantee? What if they did hire him? What were you going to do?
You could have came up with anything.
I know. I think that's even worse karma. I think if I come on here and guarantee he's not going to be,
it's going to happen.
Yes. I guarantee I'm not going to guarantee because it's bad karma. Can't.
I mean,
we're in this situation because of karma.
Karma, yeah. The first part of
so
karma
I'm not
is
going to
right
make
now.
the karma worse. I'm not doubling down on that bad karma. I'm going to recognize and back off.
You got to know when to fold.
And you know what? I made too much fun of the Scotty Montgomery story with the Panthers. I laughed at that situation. I made fun. I let all my Panther friends know about it.
Yeah.
And now it's come full. Now the chickens have come home to roost.
They're roosting. In all seriousness, so the Bears made a defensive hire for head coach, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the defensive
The
coordinator.
offensive coordinator, I mean, this is almost more important than the head coaching job because you have a young quarterback that you're trying to mold.
I agree 100%.
So that's
this
why.
Is absolutely. I said that a few times yesterday. The OC job with the Bears is more important than the head coach right now because they will have more say-so on their success.
Yeah.
And especially a defensive guy that may not be as involved in the offense, he's going to be leaning on that offensive coordinator. You've got to bring in a true expert. There's only 32 of these jobs in the country.
That's
only
why
32 offense coordinators. You got to tell me he's one of the top 32 guys in the country at that elite level? Come on. This guy fails upward. It's disgusting already.
That's why I didn't hate Ben McAdoo because he's had experience and he's basically running the offense while Rule runs the defense.
Right.
Right?
And he just focuses on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would like someone like that has maybe head coach experience, that has developed quarterbacks before. Tell me, what quarterback has Scotty Montgomery developed?
NFL quarterbacks, Gardner Minshew.
Developed. He's run them off the team, and they've developed on their own.
The guy that you liked a whole lot before you knew anything about him, Thomas, and you don't even know his name, Thomas Sirk.
Sirk.
You were a big Sirk guy.
He was a jerk.
I mean, you were a huge Sirk.
He didn't pan out.
You liked all these guys at one point.
No, I do. I still like Gardner Minshew. They're the ones that ran him out of the program.
He developed Holden Ahlers.
I don't know about that.
You know what?
Holden was originally recruited by
he was
Lucky
recruited
McNeil.
by, but he was coached by.
You know what?
Or did
I would say Tony
Scotty
Peterson.
hold him
Tony
back?
Peterson?
Yeah. Or did they hinder his development?
Hinter?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they hindered
That would
it.
be hinder.
Hinder. I'm struggling with my T's and D's today, this week.
You are TD. How do you struggle with those letters?
I don't know. I'm all worked up. I just can't think straight, Clip. Between the cold weather, this story, it's just a mess right now. I'm dealing with a lot.
It's an absolute mess.
Well, I'll tell you what, your list of candidates looks a lot better than ours did last week. Even though, Scotty Montgomery's on that list. A guy on your list who I liked in the search for the Carolina Panthers, Pep Hamilton.
Yeah, they brought him in today, actually, for an interview.
Oh, great. So
I'm praying that they go with someone like that.
He's helped develop, guys like Justin Herbert and other young quarterbacks in the league. I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now.
Wikipedia.
In 2007 to 2009, he was the quarterbacks coach for the Chicago Bears. So maybe that's the guy that you can keep your eye on.
Yeah, let's hope.
Coach Mo.
Here's the. You haven't even got to this.
Chicago. How do you pronounce it?
Chicago.
Oh God.
You haven't even got to this. You haven't even extended an invitation to interview Scotty Montgomery yet. We did that twice.
So is this just some dude writing an article?
This is an observation.
All right, are you guys just gaslighting me? Is this not even a story, knowing that I would read the headline and see it on our social media, and it's not even a real deal, knowing I want to click on it because I'd blow a fuse? Did y'all get me on this? If you did, I'll admit it. You got me.
It's called karma.
Is this
That's
a real
what we
story,
call it.
though? Not you got me.
Does
either
it
way.
matter if it's a real story?
No, I'm hoping it's not.
I have an alibi. I was asleep at 8:48 a.m. this morning.
Click on the link.
It was not me either.
What is Shaw Local? What is when you click it?
This sounds like an Ellerby Shaw Local News Network.
I mean, what is that? It could be like Chandler News Network.
13
Breaking news,
candidates
boys.
for Bears offensive coordinator by Jonathan Ellerby. Just kidding.
I knew I should have clicked the link.
So this is just a long list. This is a nothing burger, as I like
might
to
be
say.
getting all worked up over nothing.
But the connection is there.
That's kind of par for the course for you, though.
I'd let y'all do this again to me.
Why do you keep saying y'all? Who the hell are you?
Because you're part of the Pirate Radio team that's behind
Now
us.
I'm on the team. Now it's
This
my
is a
fault.
conspiracy just to get me worked up on a
conspiracy. Scotty Moe is one of 13 names on this list of nothing, Troy D. That includes Deuce Staley. He was a good running back.
Joe Brady is a candidate in this list. David Culley, poor David Culley, is a candidate for this
Ken
position.
Dorsey, didn't he work with the Panthers?
He did work with Cam Newton. He's now with Buffalo up there.
Hey, I did this with Chandler. I'll do it with Troy D. Would you rather have Jason Garrett or Scotty Montgomery?
Jason Garrett.
The clapper.
100%.
The clapper, baby.
I like Jason Garrett. I think he's a very likable guy.
Clap it up.
And if he's just
But
running
can
the
he
offense,
develop a quarterback?
well, if he did pretty good with Tony Romo.
Pretty good. No, he'd be a good coordinator.
I'd take him. I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Did not do as well with Danny Dimes.
I do want to get this in because we did it last week. Chicago, you are the real deal.
Hey, he's going to win the interview. He's going to woo him.
Hey, no question about it.
He's going to woo him.
I don't want him to get an interview.
Yeah.
Because the guy it interviews incredible.
Yeah.
Maybe his best skill set. I would put him on my all interview team. The guy does an amazing interview. No doubt about it. That's what worries me. It's everything after the interview.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I'll take a guy that interviews terrible.
I'll be praying for you for the next week or two.
I'm happy you got your blood pressure up, but I don't think you need to worry about this.
I'm worried. No. I am worried until they make this hire. I'm worried because of the Colts connection. I'm very concerned.
All right.
I haven't been this worried about a hire in maybe ever. Because this, I can't get away from this. If he brings him on board, how can I be excited about the Bears season?
This is a lot of prayer, man. That's all I can tell you. Your prayer warriors got to get behind you.
This would be a nightmare. Nightmare.
Well, I'm definitely rooting for it to happen. So we'll see how it goes.
Everyone in this building is.
The joke
just like you were rooting for him to be hired by the Panthers.
Hey, yes,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I walked in. Chandler had the biggest smile on his face when I walked in. I mean, I've never seen this kid grin so much.
Oh, man.
He just looked at me. He was just waiting for me to say something. And of course, I exploded.
Oh, you can ask Shirley. You can ask
This is the
CJ.
G-rated version. Shirley you got the NC-17 version earlier.
I don't even think we would have
Honestly,
probably 3
I would have
seconds
given
of audio.
anything if I had known ahead of time that Troy was walking through the door. I would have gone ahead and started filming it because it was about 5 minutes of the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was so
he
funny.
left like 2 times and had to keep coming back because he had another thought.
I seriously thought he was going to pass out from the lack of oxygen because his head was about to explode.
It was like CJ said. He would leave and he'd say, "Oh, and another thing."
And it was the first time I talked about it. I hadn't talked about it in the morning to anybody.
Oh, you let it out.
Yes, I think I had it built up.
It was awesome.
I don't think you need to.
I'm worried. See, this is you. You're downplaying this. This is how you do it.
There's nothing to it.
You know there's something to worry about.
There's nothing to this. It's a guy. I could have wrote this.
But we're also talking about a franchise.
That's the actual candidate.
I can't let my guard down.
All right.
You're also talking about a franchise that had
Makes bad
Andy
decisions.
Dalton and Mitch Trubisky and really bad personnel decisions.
That was Ryan Pace. Now they got Ryan Poles. It's a totally different guy.
Totally different guy.
Completely different guy.
Does the recycle thing that you were talking about last week still play into this?
Go on.
I'm saying, like, I haven't heard you say anything about the recycle. Like, you think that this couldn't happen? I tried to say last week that it wasn't going to happen, but you're like, you must not know how this works.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The recycling of coaches.
Correct. Yeah. What about it?
What I was saying last week, like Troy is, he's scared that it's going to happen. You're trying to tell him that it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Last week I said that it wasn't.
But the Panthers had interviewed him. That was a possibility. There's nothing here right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if they interview Scotty Montgomery just because of the
if
connection.
that happens, your threat level goes from orange to red.
Oh, I'm at red right now.
It goes from red to burgundy.
Yeah.
And then to maroon.
Red. It goes from red to bubbling.
Yeah. If that happens, then we got something to talk about.
All right. So you're saying just take it easy until they actually interview him.
Yeah. And if they do, I'll be the first one to text you and let you know. Our team, Troy, this is all we're doing now is following Scotty Montgomery news. Our team is
evidently we publish a lot of it online.
We thought we were done with this guy, and this is 2 weeks in a row that there's a connection.
I can't get away from this guy.
Ellerby hired 3 new people just to follow this story.
It's the Scotty Montgomery beat.
Oh boy.
Jeez.
All right. You want to stick around for the rest of the segment?
Yeah. We never got to the rundown.
Well, that was the first part. Rundown.
I feel run down after this rundown.
Running down a dream. The Pirates were not good last night. Neither was Memphis.
I was about to say it was just Brick City last night in Memphis.
ECU shot 26%.
And
we're in that ball game for most of the game.
I know. I don't know.
How do they shoot so bad? I just don't understand it. These guys are D1 athletes. I mean, this is all they do is play basketball. Like, I would understand if we go out as a rec team and shoot 26%. We're just doing it on a weekend. Why are these guys shooting so bad?
Well, they are being guarded, but on the shots they aren't. Had a lot of in and out. I'm not trying to make excuses.
There were a lot of close calls.
God, there were a lot of in and out.
There was that one play where they had three, and they kept on getting the offensive rebound.
Yeah.
They kept rimming it out every time.
It just kept making their shooting percentage worse. They'd get the rebound and miss another shot.
And it continued in the second half because I listened to Jeff and Coach Perry in the second half, and it seemed like there was at least 4 or 5 different times where Jeff was saying in and out.
2 threes in a row in particular that would have been big went in. Came out. Yeah. I don't know, Troy. But that's kind of an excuse because this team is.
They were hanging in with them for the first half, and
in the second half, it kind of got away pretty quick because again, Memphis did not play well at all. If I'm a Memphis fan, I'm totally frustrated with what they put out on the court.
Once they got the double digits last night, unlike the last couple of weeks ago, Pirates were not able to get back once they got the double digits.
Well, it was 15 to it was double digits early, and they came back. Yeah. But then not late.
Ugliest court in America? Yes or no?
Yes.
Ooh.
I think I think the problem is it's so faded, like the way they did it, where it looks like whitewashed almost. Where it's something weird about it. And it makes you feel like your TV's like off color.
I got Oregon's pulled up, Troy.
Oregon's is pretty ugly.
Yeah.
I don't like Oregon's at all.
They've got some kind of force thing going.
I'd say it's worse than Memphis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's very distracting, Oregon's. At least Memphis, there's no rhyme or reason for Oregon. At least Memphis, the color combos have a reason. Like the 3-court is you can easily see the 3-point line because of the way the colors are.
That is true.
You can't see anything.
I will say I was going to kind of go the opposite direction to say at least Oregon's court isn't blue. Like at least it's like some sort of brown or like in the.
I've always said we should go to a purple court,
which I've always said you're insane.
Well, and maybe I am. Wouldn't that be cool? I just don't think a faded purple court.
And it was also a kind of an eyesore, because of the court, but ECU being in their home whites and then Memphis being in the black uniforms because it seems like almost every single road game this year for ECU, they've been in the black uniforms.
The whole thing last night was off. I don't know if either one of those teams were as interested.
And the same guy, the astronaut, was doing the game again.
Oh, your guy. That's right.
God, what a clown.
Yeah.
He was, in case you missed it, when ECU played Houston, which was last weekend?
Saturday.
They were dressed up as astronauts for the broadcast. And they had nothing but, Houston puns.
Yeah. This time they were at the game, so he didn't get to wear his astronaut
suit. Right, but they referenced it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Astronaut man was there. You're right. Pirates lose. They'll be back home coming up Sunday against Cincinnati, taking on, you know who their coach is, Troy D?
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
First-year head coach, Wes Miller, formerly of UNCG.
Yeah.
Went to North Carolina.
I heard Tony Collins is going to be at that game.
I heard you guaranteed that you and Tony would be there.
Well, I didn't guarantee. I said I'd take him. Was that a guarantee?
You did. And I thought about saying that. You said it. We've got it on record.
I guarantee I'll take Tony?
Yes.
Well, what if Tony decides not to come?
That's a busted guarantee. I mean, I don't make the rules here.
I guarantee I offer for Tony to go. If he doesn't show up,
we'll hear what the tape says from yesterday.
I don't think I said I guarantee Tony. I can't control what Tony does.
I know, which was a shocking.
I can barely control what I do.
All right, I'll run the tape back and see what.
Has this been edited? This is a deep fake, isn't it?
No.
Think about what people can do with graphics. I know what we can do with audio.
You can look at a live, like the Facebook feed. I'm not going to touch it. You can check it out.
Well, I plan to go with Tony actually Sunday.
All right, let's.
I promise.
Let's get a break in, and we'll do Royal Rumble and see what's going on tonight later on. You have a Royal Rumble pick before we go, Troy D?
Did you guys say The Rock was making an appearance?
No.
He's like 6th highest odds to win.
If you look at the odds, which a lot of times is a spoiler. Somebody knows the writer who says who's going to win or whatever. But The Rock is like 6th, like CJ said.
Is he scheduled to appear?
No, he's not.
That's wild.
But him being that high tells you there's some rumblings. I don't know.
Oh, at the Rumble.
It is the Rumble after all. You going with The Rock?
No, I don't know. I've kind of haven't watched it in a while. I'm going to abstain from making a prediction there.
Or it's going with Lodi.
Hey,
Surprise entrance.
What a return that would be if Lodi.
I am glad to see Summer Rae making.
That's right. You can pick her to win the Women's Rumble.
I would love to.
There's the pick. By the way, you can check out the Pirate Radio Wrestling Podcast with CJ Schaefer and the big dog, Glenn Griffin.
Special appearance by Clip Rock.
I am on the show, and also special guest, Summer Rae, a.k.a. Danielle Monet, East Carolina alum, who will be in the Royal Rumble coming up on Saturday night. That is available for download right now. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can hear it on SoundCloud. So great stuff. Make sure you check that out.
It was good. I was in the lab while y'all guys were recording it, so I got a sneak preview.
You were in the lab?
I was in the lab listening. In the podcast lab.
Getting some work in.
Good job, by the way. So that way I don't have to download it and listen to it now. I already heard it.
You were part of the live studio on it.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, very good. I was, listen, I'm not that into it right now, so if it can take my attention, that's good, right?
For you diehard wrestling fans, it's great. I haven't watched it in forever, but I like the Rumble, so I was the novice. So for those folks out there like me, check it out. All right, let's take a time out. Troy, we'll see you Monday.
See you guys.
All right.
Hopefully we'll have
this is nothing.
Better news to report, and this is just a bad dream.
Now, if something happens between now and Monday,
we're going to have to go emergency Twitter, what do we call it? Twitter space?
Oh, no. That's actually a good idea.
I don't know if I could handle
emergency Twitter spaces. Scotty Montgomery news.
I'll be in meltdown mode.
Brian North joins us on the other side of this timeout. Back with you after this.
Your Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates and ENC. Open 7 days a week from noon until 2 a.m., the Buck features live music every night of the week. Tuesday is karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday is acoustic night. Thursday is the DJ dance party. And Friday and Saturday nights, it's live bands. Check out the Buck's Facebook or Instagram page for more information. The Buccaneer Music Hall. We'll see you at the Buck.
In a world of fake profiles, fake tans, and fake flavors, naturally flavored Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer strives for realness. It's USDA certified organic, with no sugar or carbs, and only 80 calories. So the only thing touching your taste buds is organic, refreshing, and delicious. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. As real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly. Not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. IRC Beer. St. Louis, Missouri 63118.
Burgers, wings, hand-cut, hand-breaded chicken tenders, fresh salads, and cold beer is the starting lineup at Tiebreakers and has been keeping customers happy for 20 years. Tiebreakers' family atmosphere is the perfect place to come watch your favorite team play while enjoying a great lunch or dinner. In a hurry or looking for catering options? Get Tiebreakers to go. That now includes the new curbside pickup by ordering online at tiebreakersnc.com. Tiebreakers.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
It's bow time. We think a chicken sandwich this good should speak for itself. But when you're talking juicy, hand-breaded, and boldly seasoned chicken breasts, piled up with thick-cut pickles and creamy mayo all on a buttery toasted bun, well, we are happy to say it again and again and again. Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom with Team Coop Strong. We want to invite you to the Coop Strong race on March 19th. This unique race has a 4-mile course, a ruck division, and an awesome after party. Proceeds support the local nonprofit Coop Strong, which provides financial support for those fighting ALS, scholarships in memory of Dr. Nelson Cooper, and funding for ALS research. You can sign up at runtheeast.com and follow Coop Strong on Facebook for all of the details. As always, we appreciate your support, and go Pirates!
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with zero interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
We are not coming together to just be average. We want to build a program that will year in and year out compete for the American Athletic Conference Championship and compete nationally against any and everybody.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Vacation spots are right here in our very own backyard. Take a trip to a state park and enjoy traditional camping, RV space, and cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi. If you're by a lake, be sure to check out the opportunities to rent a canoe or kayak and get out on the water. Your next adventure is right around the corner, and for more information, visit ncstateparks.gov. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Broad.
Alrighty, welcome back to this Free Beer Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We've got a Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack for you. Looks like that comes with citrus, classic cola, orange, and cherry. So that variety pack can be yours if you are our lucky caller coming up in hour number 3 of today's program. Shirley, was it? When we have guests on, sometimes I'll send you the number. But was it Brian North who you said you didn't need his because you knew it by heart?
Yes, that is
one of the very few, right?
It is one of the, I could probably count on one hand whose numbers I know by heart.
Wow.
And North is one of them.
Brian, I don't know what you and Shirley do away from the radio, but that's got to make you feel pretty good, right? You're on Shirley's short list.
Good and scared all at the same time.
Good point.
We've been doing this a while, so.
I was thinking about it today when I was texting you that I remember sending you, it was either a phone call, maybe a text, maybe an email, but like Josh Spence, I want to say, did a show before I got here many moons ago when I was doing a 1-hour Thursday night show, the Locker Room, and either he or Ellerby was like, yeah, you would have Brian North on from Channel 10. I knew who you were, Brian, from watching the news, but I didn't know you at all. And I sent you that, hey, I'm Clip. Could you join me on the show? And since then, one of the most amazing relationships ever known to mankind was formed.
Right. Yeah, we've learned a lot from each other. We've grown. It's like we came out of the womb together at this point. We've been together so long. So it's
if we're twins, I guess I'm DeVito and you're Schwarzenegger. Is that how that works?
Not at all. I was actually did you ever read that story about the Siamese twins who moved to North Carolina and they married separate women and had like 10 and 11 kids each with different wives?
Wow. No.
No, it's nuts. And there's like a roadside marker to celebrate their lives. But yeah, they lived in North Carolina.
Wow.
Had 2 houses a mile from each other. They spent 3 nights with one wife, then the next 3 nights with the other. Yeah, and they pumped out 21 kids that way. And there's so many questions people have asked. But this is far beyond you and I's twinship. We like this.
Yeah.
It's fascinating sometimes what you see in North Carolina.
That is a wild story. All right. Brian North knows his North Carolina trivia, apparently. All right, North, where to begin? Let's start, we'll start with East Carolina basketball. I mentioned it in segment number 1. Another poor shooting night from the Pirates as they're back in the 20s again, 24%. Last night, 26% officially for East Carolina from the floor. And Memphis was giving them chances. They did not play very well either. They turned the ball over 16 times, as they tend to do. And East Carolina couldn't take advantage of it last night.
You know, here we go in this January thing again.
Yeah.
With ECU, and that is a non-conference record. And, you know, a couple of nice wins. And they had one of their – they always have a signature win every year, it seems like, right? A home win. And they had it early against Memphis, so maybe we thought they could get a few. And now kind of here we go with this normal January tough patch that we see, and we'll see if Joe Dooley and company can get out of it. Shooting was certainly an area of issue last night. We know shooters and shooting teams tend to struggle at the end of January, beginning of February, when the season's kind of gotten long, the legs start to go a little bit. They haven't gotten that burst yet of getting into March Madness. So this is where we tend to see some of the worst shooting in college basketball at this time of year.
Pirates will be back home Sunday, North, against Wes Miller, and the Cincinnati Bearcats will be coming back to the state of North Carolina. That's a Sunday nooner. And speaking of coaches on the move, you know, you had Cincinnati's coach, his name is escaping me now, the UCLA.
Yeah, see, we are twins. We got to that point in our lives. We see a face. We know a guy. We're like, that guy.
What's his name? Mick Cronin. Thank you, Chandler. That's why you're sitting here. Why could I not remember his name? So he moves on.
It's a young guy. He can remember that stuff.
That's true. But he moves on and is doing a good job at UCLA. Chris Mack had Xavier as a 1 seed in the tournament a few years ago. Had a couple of NBA guys on that roster, so he split to Louisville. And man, if you could turn back time like Cher, he would do it all over again and not go to Louisville, or at least not have Dino Gaudio on his staff, I guess, because there are off the court issues. There were apparently on the court issues, and now currently he is not a coach there. And I'm sure we always see these guys, time heals all wounds and makes us forget about things. Right. So he'll probably be back somewhere someday, Brian. But man, that was a very quick fall from grace for Chris Mack.
Yeah, and the Louisville situation's been escalating. They had a player in a press conference 1 or 2 weeks ago sit there and say they have zero trust in their coaching staff.
Yeah.
So that's never good. When that happens in the middle of the season, you've lost your locker room. Louisville felt like it needed to just cut bait then and go and find somebody else. Look, it's a lifelong lesson, though. Sometimes the grass isn't always greener. You're at Xavier, things are good. I know the money might be better somewhere else, but sometimes it's a little bit more than money you should have been making pretty good money at Xavier, where you can cement your legacy forever and keep winning if you want to. But some guys always want to go see someplace else to see what they can find and do and see if they can be successful.
Man, I get it. The Mark Few way is not for everybody, but he's done quite well at Gonzaga and still doing well. But Louisville has a history of this, Brian, with Patino, Gaudio. They sound like a mob outfit. They need to find some choir boys to go clean up their stuff. I don't know who they hire next, but they have gone down the wrong path with these coaches here of recent memory.
Yeah, well, it's when you want to win and you have a history and the pressure's there, and sometimes trying to clean things up can cause some issues. And so, Louisville's always been an interesting place. They've always wanted their athletics to do great, and a lot of times they have. I feel like it was just 6-7 years ago, maybe probably a little bit longer. They were at the top of the food chain when it came to athletics. The football team was top 25, baseball team, basketball team, they're all kind of right there in men's sports. So, but sometimes those things are made of straw and come tumbling down when the wind gets blowing at you. So I think that's kind of what's happening in Louisville right now, and they kind of lost their way with their foundations of the things they wanted to do and hired some coaches who may not have done it the right way or tried to do things in shady ways, and this is the result of it.
Brian North joining us. Louisville will be in action coming up noon on Saturday, hosting Duke. North Carolina taking on NC State in Chapel Hill, 2 o'clock on Saturday. North Carolina facing NC State, or as Gary Hahn would call them, what would he call them, Chandler? North Carolina versus
State.
Are you familiar with Gary Hahn's calling of games, Brian, at all?
I have. So I've been here 23 years, and I'm still that guy who will listen to games on the radio, driving around doing things. And so a lot of these area schools have had longtime radio guys who just recently stepped down.
Yeah.
Gary Hahn, I always thought was one of the best. I always thought Gary was NC State through and through. He wasn't that much of a homer. I always thought he called the action clear. I could understand. He loved State enough, but he was never an annoying homer sort of guy. But I always like listening to Gary. So big fan.
Chandler does a great Gary Hahn. Now, we've done it off the air, and it kind of entertains me. I don't know if it translates to radio, but do you want to try it, Chandler?
Let's get Tony on the sideline. Tony.
It's pretty good. Going down.
Let's get Tony Haynes on the sideline. Tony.
Touchdown State.
Touchdown State.
I mean, that's pretty damn spot on, people.
I feel like Gary is right there. If Gary ever has like a medical issue and no one would know the difference.
That's good stuff.
Stunt double.
He will hopefully, for his sake, be calling a win tomorrow. They play North Carolina in hoops. Brian, how about the football weekend? You are a level-headed guy when it comes to sports. You don't get caught up in the moment a lot, and because we say this guy's the best player ever, the worst player ever, that was the best/worst thing I've ever seen, all that. Last week was literally the best weekend of playoff football of all time. Yes or no?
Yeah, I don't know how else you can beat it. At least it would be 1A if you could find me another example, but I don't know how you can have 4 games that end on the last play of the game. Now, I wouldn't call them all great games. I would think they were great finishes.
Right. Great finishes make great games, right?
Right, correct. But that Chiefs-Bills game was a great game all the way through. And look, if you like defense, the other ones were pretty good. They were all really competitive except for maybe the Bucs-Rams. The Bucs make the comeback there. I think a lot of people thought that was kind of over, and then they made the comeback. But no, it was a very memorable weekend until this weekend. You have 2 great finishes this weekend, and then no one's talking about last weekend. Kind of the way that sports works.
Hey, I'll take it if they can be anywhere close. What do you think, Brian? Offensive shootout coming up, it appears on paper anyway, in Kansas City. Can Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and the young Bengals put a scare into Kansas City, or will Brett Kennedy be smiling on Sunday night?
No, we'll be putting up with Brett Kennedy in the Kansas City fans again. So, look, offenses are great. It's going to come down to who can hold better on the defensive side. I really don't trust that Bengals offensive line. I mean, they gave up all those sacks, still were able to find a win, but I just think Kansas City will be able to get some pressure, enough pressure to create 1 or 2 turnovers. And once you get a 2 to 3 touchdown gap, I don't think Kansas City's offense will ever let up and let them back into the game.
And Brian, on the NFC side, it would say, like, all right, man, Rodgers-Brady would be a great championship game. Or, Dak Prescott is at his time with the Cowboys. Now, these teams are good, but when I say Stafford-Garoppolo, that does not sound like a championship matchup, but it is. And they're doing it different ways. L.A. kind of built a super team, and they are great on offense with what Cooper Kupp did this year. The 49ers won with special teams and defense last week, and just basically going the high school route, Brian, and telling Deebo Samuel, you're our best player. We're going to give you the ball 40 times and hopefully get down the field and score enough. Their offense didn't score at all last week, but they didn't need it. So how about this matchup?
Yeah, look, I think L.A. on paper, even though they've lost 6 in a row to the 49ers, it just looks on paper that they may be peaking at the right time. Garoppolo, he's a Super Bowl quarterback. He's been to a Super Bowl, but you just don't trust him. There's always 1 or 2 plays a game he makes. You just don't trust the guy. So,
especially in that Super Bowl he played in. Like, he's kind of, and last week he threw a bad pick. He tends to do that.
Right. Right. So, but it's amazing to me they beat him 6 times in a row. I mean, it's almost like I've got to go back and review that because in your mind it just doesn't seem like that would be possible. But look, Kentavious Street, former J.H. Rose guy, and that defensive line for San Francisco is something else. And so, look, that whole defense. I didn't know Josh Norman was on that team until you saw him come in a quick sub relief. But that was a guy who used to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Now he's just kind of a scrub fill-in. But that tells you how good that defense is with a guy with that kind of name you didn't even know was on that team. So that's how good 49ers defense is, and they're fun to watch. And so, they'll give that LA offense everything they want. I just think LA is kind of peaking and clicking right at the right time.
Brian North joining us, and man, what a multitasker he is. I don't know what's going on around you right now, Brian, but I do hear at least one little North.
Oh, do you remember that time? I think it was when Scotty Montgomery got fired, and I showed up and did my show live, the 5:30 News Live.
Oh, yeah.
Doing radio. So I did radio and news live at the same time, and it was really difficult. I'm doing daddy daycare with 2 kids and trying to do live radio. Might be even more difficult than that. So.
They sound pleasant though. I haven't heard any crying. That's a good thing.
Now I got one inside with mom who's like not happy with me at all because she's not working. So one's inside. The other is now at that point where she recognizes that dad's on the phone and not paying attention to her. So we are acting out a little bit, not chasing around, waiting, hoping she doesn't fall and get stitched. So.
All right, it's always entertaining what's going on around Brian North when he joins us here on the show. Brian, appreciate it, man. Enjoy your family and sports weekend, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, sounds good, Clippy.
There he is, Brian North, WCTI 12, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. We will take a timeout, wrap up the hour. We'll get our Royal Rumble picks. Now, you don't watch wrestling, Chandler?
I used to back.
I hadn't watched in a while.
You can make a pick. It's fine.
Shirley hadn't watched since like the late 80s, early 90s.
Can I get a list of...
I want you to pick as if like it was your favorite time of wrestling. So Shirley might pick, I don't know, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I would pick Rey Mysterio.
Right, yeah. I would pick a guy in your era.
Now, when I ended watching wrestling, there was a tag team. I know it had Kofi Kingston in it, but they had a cereal.
The New Day.
The New Day. They're still a thing. They're still a thing.
That's about the time I quit watching it.
Yeah, they're still a thing, so you can pick one of them.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk Royal Rumble, also see what's going on tonight in the world of sports. Hornets in action tonight.
Hornets.
On national TV against the Lakers. We'll discuss your sports calendar when we return after this.
Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
The Dickinson Avenue Public House is a lively and diverse restaurant in Greenville that utilizes fresh and local ingredients. With influences of Creole, Asian, and upscale Southern cuisine, the DAP House offers a seasonally rotating menu and a full-service bar with rotating craft brews on tap. Come to the intersection of 8th and Dickinson and enjoy $1 off drafts on Tuesday, half-price flights on Wednesday, half-price wine bottles on Thursday, and $1 oysters Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 to 7. For more details, check out their website at daphouse.nc.com.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in Eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar in Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
Grow Rug 26 is coming to Greenville March 25th through the 27th. This is DJ Fossil from F3 ENC, inviting all men to sign up now for this leadership training event. The Grow Rug training events are designed to help men become high-impact men by reinforcing the F3 mission of invigoration of male community leadership. To register or to learn more, please visit f3enc.com. That's f3enc.com. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you've got to get started if you want to be great.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville. When a storm hits, you can count on Greenville Utilities. They put their emergency storm plan into action to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. If you experience an outage, call them toll-free at 1-855-767-2482. The automated hotline can handle a large number of calls at once, virtually eliminating busy signals, so help can be on the way as fast as possible. Remember, GUC's emergency hotline number is 1-855-767-2482.
I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have kept the fires burning for Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out wood-fired meats, cooked fresh every single day. There are no freezers at our place. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Stop in and see us, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. At Sam Jones Barbecue, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors.
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates!
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Need some beer for the weekend? The Jarvis Street Bottle Shop near Christie's Euro Pub is a specialty shop selling craft, domestic, and import brews, along with wine and growlers. The Bottle Shop offers monthly beer and wine tastings featuring rotating North Carolina craft breweries, along with live music and discounts. Stop by Tuesday through Sunday or check out the Jarvis Street Bottle Shop on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All right, here on a Free Beer Friday, getting you ready for your sports weekend.
Touchdown State! That was a really bad impersonation.
I just said that might have been my best one. So now
I don't know if he should try to top it.
Yeah,
it was really good.
No, it was a really bad one. That was my bad
impersonation. Was bad.
Yes,
his was good.
No, his was good.
What about yours?
I'm not. Yeah, touchdown Stank. I put a little N on
Stank.
There's no N in it.
Tony Haynes.
Do your touchdown state again.
Touchdown State.
Really? I mean, again, like I told you the other night, that because we've never brought this to air, like only 4 people would enjoy that.
Yeah, I'll have to show it to my uncle who is a State fan. It's like a split family. Of course, my side is ECU, and then the other half is NC State. So I did grow up. Of course, I was Jeff Charles or die, but I also would tune into Gary Hahn and those guys too.
Jeff Charles or die.
Or die. And should I even say that?
And then he called you a jabroni.
And then he called me a jabroni.
Yeah. You and Jeff got beef?
Nah, man. We're bros.
Okay.
We're jabros.
Good to hear. All right, so we got hoops. We got SEC Big 12 Challenge this weekend. Kind of random this late in the year, but Kentucky and Kansas play.
Cool.
And there's some other good matchups. So
who does State play?
State plays Carolina.
All right, they're not in the challenge.
SEC Big 12.
Oh, gotcha. All right, let's go down to Tony Haynes.
Yeah, okay, you're right. We shouldn't have. You should have just.
Wasn't there an ACC? Oh, ACC Big 10.
Yeah, that was earlier this year.
Sorry.
Yep, no problem. Gary, I almost called you Tony. I'm sorry about that.
All right, call me Tony.
We've got Royal Rumble coming up Saturday. I like that it's on a Saturday instead of the traditional Sunday.
Yep.
We've got the Pirate Radio Wrestling Podcast Episode 2 available now for download if you are a wrestling fan or just want to hear the big dog Glenn Griffin, CJ, and myself talk about wrestling for a while. Great interview with Danielle Monet, who is known in the WWE circles as Summer Rae. She will be in the Women's Royal Rumble.
And regardless of fandom of professional wrestling, whether you're not a fan, lapsed fan, hardcore fan, that's a great interview to listen to.
Yes, if you're a crypto fan.
Yes, for sure.
Which I have no clue what any of that is. But
me neither, but she taught me a lot.
Yeah, she's into it and actually did break it down for us novices about what that is. All right, so CJ, I'm going to watch, because I watched the Royal Rumble. I have not watched wrestling in a while. Why should we be excited about the 2022 Royal Rumble?
So I think much for the reason that you enjoy the Royal Rumble and the way you can sell it to a casual fan. The Royal Rumble match is very unpredictable, and it is that way every year, but more so this year than previous years. You can hear us talk a little bit more in depth on the podcast, but to keep it short here, there are 30 available spots in the women's and men's Royal Rumbles, respectively. In the women's Royal Rumble, 21 entrants have been announced. In the men's Rumble, 22 entrants have been announced, which means in the women's Rumble, there are 9 spots that we don't know, and 8 spots in the men's that we don't know, which leaves a lot of surprises, a lot of returns from injury, a lot of shocks that we have no idea who's going to show up. Clip, you and I talked a little bit ago, and I think Troy was in here and he asked about it. The Rock is actually like number 6 on who has the best odds to win the Rumble, and I haven't heard a word about him showing up, but
that's one of the best parts about it, the surprise return.
Yeah, you have no idea who shows up, but when they do, it gets a huge reaction.
And I hope, like, these days it's tougher to keep a secret.
Yes.
If there is something that huge happening, I'm almost worried if I don't hear something beforehand.
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult to keep those things
This would
secret.
be something massive.
That
to
would
keep
be huge.
secret.
So I like to look up random YouTube videos, and sometimes I like to go down, like, in the area of the years that I watched wrestling and watched old Rey Mysterio highlights or whatever.
Yeah.
There was a video I came across, and it was like biggest surprises in Royal Rumble history. In y'all's opinion, each of y'all, what is the biggest surprise you think is in the history of the Royal Rumble, where it just came out of nowhere?
I would have to go with Edge returning in the Royal Rumble 2020. It had been I think 9 years that he was away from the ring after being forced to retire in 2011 due to a neck injury, a neck injury that had so many surgeries, and we just assumed that he would never be back.
And I think I've seen that video, and the crowd pop on that video is crazy.
Huge. One of my favorite returns of all time was Edge, like 10 years previous to that, which was not a huge shock, but he had been out with an injury or something and came back.
2009.
So I love those returns. That's the best part of it. So I just hope there's a big one coming up Saturday.
Yep, me too.
Did you know Rey Mysterio is going to be the cover boy on the new WWE video game?
Oh, really?
And he still wrestles. And he's in the Rumble.
Yes, he is.
Does he still
do
the 619?
Yes, he does. And now his son's in the Rumble, too.
You're kidding me. Mm-hmm. So how old does that make Rey Mysterio?
He's an old.
Man. Yeah, he's old.
He wrestled when I watched WCW in the mid to late 90s.
Oh, wow.
I actually saw a post about it earlier today. His debut match was 1989.
Yeah, 619.
He's 47.
Oh, wow.
Good for him.
Cool.
Neat story.
Cool. Neat story.
Rey Mysterio's your
Cool.
pick.
Neat story.
I'll go with the bad guy, Scott Hall. NWO making his return. Who's your pick, CJ?
So, would I pick somebody right now, or would I pick somebody from when I watched, like, as a child?
Who do you remember being your first favorite wrestler?
My first favorite guy.
Who was your first?
You never forget your first.
My first favorite guy was The Undertaker, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Chad Moore says AJ Styles debut.
Could the lights go off Saturday night?
I love The Undertaker, but I think he's good. Stay away. You're done.
What was his record? Didn't he have an undefeated record in WrestleMania?
He did.
And that was broken?
23-0?
20-0, and then Brock broke it to make it
Lesnar?
Or it might have been 21-0. Because yes, Brock Lesnar.
I'm just trying to kind of rehash my memories of wrestling.
Shirley,
WrestleMania 28.
Who was your favorite wrestler?
Oh, God. From my era? Oh, gosh, there were so many. I just enjoyed watching a lot of them.
Give me a name. Just one name.
Junkyard Dog.
Junkyard Dog. I love JYD. I had his action figure that had the chain.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yep.
Coco Beware.
Coco Beware was also another one that I enjoyed. There was a version of, I know that they have, because I honestly don't think that it's the same guy, but there was a guy that wrestled under the name of Sting, but there were two different guys, because one had longer hair with like the full-on face paint, but then there was another guy with short hair.
Oh no, that's the same person.
Is it?
Yeah, you're thinking
because that guy is old.
What are you talking about?
You're talking about blonde hair Sting with the face paint that only goes to like
Yeah. Is it the same guy?
Yeah, that's Sting. That's just young Sting.
Shut up.
That is Sting.
We can't shut up. This is a radio show.
No, I really thought it was two different people.
Nope.
I wonder what you think about Matt Foley. Is it Matt Foley?
Mick Foley?
Mick Foley, sorry.
Yeah, that Mankind and Cactus Jack boy.
Matt Foley is Van Down by the River guy.
Down by the river.
You know what? That tells you about how out of touch I am with wrestling.
Blew Shirley's mind.
Yeah, you did blow my mind.
Mind blown. British Bulldog was great.
British Bulldog
especially
was
when
awesome.
he had the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Let's get this guy
you mentioned Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You mentioned him.
Oh,
Tony Dunn, favorite wrestler as a kid.
Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yes.
I mean, it's very clear. The Rockers. That's like my favorite.
Is that Michaels and Jannetty?
Sergeant Slaughter.
What about Macho Man?
Macho Man was
Macho Man.
The best wrestling match ever was, I think it was SummerSlam 7 or 5 or something. It was Macho Man versus Ultimate Warrior. It was the same year that Sergeant Slaughter and Hulk Hogan went after it.
Hey, yeah, get him on a podcast.
Yeah,
my favorite. It was. I had a bootleg copy. My uncle recorded it and mailed it to me.
Tony knows he has a very short window of early '90s wrestling. He could talk about with you guys.
Yeah.
We will talk. So, who is your legitimate pick? I tell you what, don't spoil it.
Listen to the podcast and figure it out.
Yeah.
What a tease that was.
What's the name of it? I need a new podcast to listen to.
The Pirate Radio Wrestling Podcast.
Oh, okay.
You can look it up on our in the Apple Store or Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Roger that.
Roger that. All right, Tony, hair looking great. I like the Canes hoodie.
Thank you.
We will talk what's going on in Pantherland, latest NFL news, and pick the championship games.
Oh, the champs are here, by the way.
Who's that?
Y'all two.
Oh my, this is going to be insufferable.
The champs are here.
Your Wednesday night H.W. Murphy's trivia champions are here. You are right about that, Tony Dunn. Take a time out, come back hour 2 on the way after this.
Hey dads, it's back. Plan to join us for our 6th annual Daddy-Daughter Dance Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs. This event will be a fun night of games, music, photo keepsakes, raffle tickets, and of course, dancing. Best of all, 100% of the proceeds will go to Daughters for Dads, which supports local families affected by cancer. Sponsorship opportunities are also available. Purchase your tickets today by going to eventbrite.com and search for Daughters for Dads. We will see you Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
It's a new year and we have some exciting news at Angel Oak Home Loans. This is Talbot Green and I would like to introduce you to the newest member of our team, Braxton Green. I've known Braxton his entire life because he's my nephew. He is also a recent ECU graduate and has lived in Eastern North Carolina his entire life.
This is Braxton Green and I'm looking forward to working with you with your next home loan or refinance. Give us a call at Angel Oak Home Loans today at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685842. Equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar. Join us at the Rick House for mouth-watering steaks and made-from-scratch pastas. Check out the 16-ounce cowboy steak and our seafood delight pasta. The Rick House is open for lunch daily from 11 to 2, Monday through Friday. Take a break from your workday with lunch at the Rick House. Join us for our legendary brunch on Sundays from 10 to 2. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holt Nailers for my friends at Arc Point Labs. Just as I trust my teammates, you can trust Arc Point Labs to give you quick and accurate results for all your laboratory testing needs. If you are in need of COVID testing for your return to school, work, or for travel, Arc Point Labs is offering same-day PCR and antigen testing with little to no wait time. Please visit any of the 6 Eastern North Carolina Arc Point Labs locations or make an appointment now at onehourcovidresults.com. Go Pirates!
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
What's the big deal? Where can you get pizza, bread twists, specialty chicken, and more for just $5.99 each?
Is it at Domino's?
He hands off hand toss pizza and a marble cookie brownie. He's going!
There's a lot of variety on the radio and at Domino's too, where you can
mix and match 2 or more. $5.99 each at Domino's.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza, bone-in wings, and bread bowls will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. When your air conditioning or heating unit needs repair or replacing, call on the reliable professionals of Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Go to DelcorInc.com or give them a call at 321-8868. Delcor, the service professionals in Greenville. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, it is a Free Beer Friday here at Pirate Radio. We are giving away a 12-pack of Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda. We got a variety pack for you. Citrus, Classic Cola, Orange, and Cherry Cola are all in the variety pack, and we will make you a winner coming up in our third hour of the program. All right, we are to the championships games in the NFL. Don't know. In fact, I'm going to say nobody had the Bengals getting this far. Fair?
No. We were dancing around the pick a little.
In fact, when we talked AFC North, and we did hype that up, and the NFC West as the toughest divisions in football, right? But Ravens, Browns, maybe kind of sort of Steelers, but the Bengals might have been last on the list there with Pittsburgh as far as who you thought would go to the playoffs and advance in the playoffs.
Well, I had Titans last week, and I said that the Titans are going to have to get to Joe Burrow.
Hey, you were right.
They did. They got there nine times.
It's crazy.
You could count 2 times with the delay of game and the timeout where they just let the play run and let Joe Burrow just get demolished. But Titans were able to get to Joe Burrow, but thanks to their quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, with 3 picks and setting them up there at the end of the game for the game-winning field goal. What a kicker they have. An actual draft pick out of the 6th round gets them the win.
The kickers were on display last week. Great games, Tony.
Best weekend of football. A couple of guys on our podcast said that that's the best weekend of playoff football they had ever seen.
I'm in that camp.
I mean, that's pretty wild. I'd have to go back and really think, and go back and study it. But I mean, yeah, we said this on the show last week. Here is that this Titans Bengals game was going to be a good game. We expected it to be a good game, but it was just about the youth and maybe not inexperienced, but kind of not being there, haven't been there before. That concerned us about the Bengals. But I tell you this, Joe Burrow is like cold as ice, dude. This dude is ice cold, and he does not get shook. I mean, getting sacked 9 times, and he's still out there getting it done. This guy came out last week after the first, their first playoff win in 30 years and said, they were like, how do you feel about making this a big deal for the city and stuff like this? How big of a moment is this? He was like, this is a standard going forward. Get used to it, homie. And boy, did they get used to it. I bet you if you're a Bengals fan, you got to be like, I actually know a Bengals fan who fell off after 30 years, just said, I can't do it.
That's enough.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm coming back, baby.
You bring up a good point, too. I mean, for him to be sacked 9 times and to still have the composure that he did only as a second-year player, and last year as a rookie tore his ACL, you would think there would be some sort of PTSD, kind of rattled in the pocket. No, he's very calm and collected, and he's getting the job done.
I don't know if he said it after the playoff win over the Raiders or if it was this past game. Might have been this past game, but he said he's tired of the underdog thing. A lot of the teams embrace it. He's more like, hey, this is who we are. We're in the championship. This is where we're going to be. Get used to it. Which is pretty cool. I'm on board with Burrow.
He might be the coolest dude in the NFL, to be honest.
The cigar smoke.
The kind of thing about this is cool
curly
people
hair.
Don't try to be cool.
That is a good point.
And this guy doesn't have to prove to us that he is cool. He just is.
He
won me over. I didn't even love him coming out of the draft. I thought, he could be good, but
a lot of people know where the camera is and will ham it up. Even that picture of him smoking the cigar after the LSU win,
just normal.
I think he was just chilling there. Somebody took a picture of him. I don't think he said, "Hey, get me. I'm gonna do a pose."
Yeah, he's awesome, dude.
Speaking of, I saw this stat. The Bengals are a win away from reaching the Super Bowl after being an NFL worst 2-14 in 2019. They could match the 81 49ers and the 03 Panthers for the fastest turnaround from worst record to Super Bowl. So was that George Seifert, Tony?
No, that's
John Fox.
John Fox.
Well, what? Had the worst record?
George Seifert had the worst record.
That's what
John
I'm saying.
Fox.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. John Fox came in and then went they won 7 games his first year, I think.
What was the record the year before in 02?
They were
was that
one
win?
Right?
They went 1-15, then 7-9, I think, and then
1-15, 7-9, and then 11-5.
Wow,
won the South.
Hey, we still got 5-6 more years on our rebuild.
I don't know. I have to call Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Well, y'all hadn't had the worst record, so you got to.
No, we are.
You got to truly bottom out.
We're
first.
just 5 wins, man. It's just right at the. We know where our lane's
Scotty Mo vibes.
It's kind of funny is because for so long Panther fans got so mad about us being content with being 7-9, 9-7,
flipping
7-9,
between that every year.
And then you're like, okay, we want to either be really good or really bad. Well, guess what? We decided to be pretty bad consistently.
That unfortunately seems to be the case, at least right now. New special teams coach named today, guys?
Chris Tabor.
Yeah. Don't know what to think about it.
Yeah.
Well, a Bears fan told me earlier, his name is Troy Dreyfus. He seems to like the hire. And looking back at some of the special teams units that he's had, and I also read that Ron Rivera interviewed him for the special teams job, I guess before hiring Chase Blackburn. He ended up going to Cleveland. He's been in Chicago the past few years. He started there as an assistant special teams coach and then worked his way up as the special teams coordinator. But he's worked with guys like Devin Hester, Cordell Patterson, and then a new guy they had this past year. So
actually, I know exactly what to think about this. I can't wait for him to be our interim head coach.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, we got a next Harbaugh in our hands here.
Or Joe Judge.
There you go. And no, I did see some stats about the Bears being very good in punts and punt returns.
And look, we are doing a radio show, so we got to talk about it. But honestly, this is just like us going, Scotty Montgomery coached Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
You know,
I know. I do worry about that. It's like when you got a punter that drops it on the 5 every time. Is that like really coaching?
No, hell no. Because the coach, the special teams coach, is not out there punting, like showing the guy what to do.
But there is something to be said about a team that doesn't do those things well, particularly on returns. You know, is that why is it that the Panthers are getting smothered every time the guy catches the punt?
Why is the opposing team starting at the 32 every time rather than the 22?
Yeah.
You know,
Hopefully we see some improvement.
And special teams are still important. We saw that in the Niners-Packers game last week. All right, any other Panthers news and notes? So we talked about this earlier this week, Tony. We've got a lot of time, and this it sucks to talk about.
But we're used to it.
Yeah. What's the QB plan? So Darnold's back.
We don't know. This is this is going to be the fun part about talking about the Panthers until the draft, right? Is that
there's still a chance they could look totally different at quarterback?
Yeah. Is that right now there's scenarios out there where Panthers could trade for Russell Wilson? Right? We debated that last night on Debate My Take, and that really is that the asking price. At least it was an article, it was like a speculation article put up by Bleacher Report, but it was 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. And we were talking about, is that a reasonable price? And, in some ways it is. Is that, like, if you think about it, is that if you're happy with what Stafford did for the Rams and what they got out of that and how that kind of, you get a known commodity, a guy that has a lot of time or a significant amount of time playing good quarterback you expect. Do you do that, or do you go down the road of drafting a quarterback? And so we'll be looking at what they do in free agency to kind of give us some signals about this. But, you can, there's a lot of cool things. And then you got to bring up that Ben McAdoo. At least his name has been associated with, like, identifying the right quarterbacks coming out of college. And we don't know how much credit we should give to him, is that at hindsight's 2020. Maybe he's just saying these things after. But he had Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson rated above Sam Darnold, Rosen, all these guys.
I love that. That's great. Hey, guys, look what I had on my scouting report.
Yeah.
And not to make light of it, but that does sound totally like hindsight. Like
it does. But this was the same year that, supposedly when he was trying to trade up for Patrick Mahomes, and Gettleman wanted to go with Evan Ingram. I think that's his name, right? So so you got some things right there, and then that begs the question is, does McAdoo give us kind of some inside track on if there is a quarterback out there that people aren't talking about? Like, is Pickett really the guy? Does he see some things in these people? So, at least we have some fun conversation to talk about surrounding the quarterback position. You do expect Sam Darnold to be out there in week 1 if there isn't a trade, if there's a rookie that brought in. But you never know, and maybe you package him as part of that deal to get them the heck out of there.
Now, you guys on your podcast, C3 Panther Podcast, y'all been doing some film study, and mostly what you guys have been studying is some offensive tackle prospects.
We did one last night.
You did the guy from NC State. I know you guys did the one last night from Mississippi
What
State.
school did you say?
MC State.
State.
Thank you.
We did Charles Cross from Mississippi State, and I tell you, this guy looks amazing. So like if we get him, you can already see that look is that we're trying to figure out where the Panthers are going to go at 6, but you don't know. They can trade back. There's not a lot of picks in the top 100, and
we have one.
Yeah, one. And on top of that, if you draft an offensive lineman, you can go ahead and hang Matt Rule out to dry. Yes, that's the right move to do, but it won't be fast enough to change the team in a positive direction to save him. And you're starting to wonder now is that as you see Sean Payton retire, as you see so many coaching positions open up in the NFL, and really a dearth, it seems like, of names that are talented outside of I think Caldwell's the one that should be hired first out of all of these guys. But, there's not a lot of names out there that people are in love with, it feels like. Flores, Pep Hamilton are some hot names. But other than that, I don't feel like there's a super sexy candidate out there. And so maybe the Carolina Panthers have decided that, we're going to probably suck anyway. why don't we just line up for 2023 with a new coach who picks his quarterback in a great class or what people say is a better class and roll then? So if you get Charles Cross next year, that might be like part of that plan.
Yeah.
Was it you? I think it was you. It might have been both of you guys. This is something you can put on your Ben McAdoo hindsight resume. Chandler, you loved Michael Parsons last year in the draft.
Oh yeah, loved him.
And maybe you too, Tony. I remember you guys talking about him as potentially like going to the Panthers,
right?
If they went that route. And he went late, slipped character stuff, I think, with him at Penn State.
Yeah, bullied YGM, who's on our team. That's
And
why he
then
couldn't come to us.
Bullied the NFC East this year.
He bullied Yeater?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said
Yeater
that.
Gross Matos?
Which is awesome. I like the idea of bullying a guy that's higher up the food chain on you.
Yeah.
Like, so he graduated, but is that this freshman comes in and makes this senior carry his like shoulder pads?
Just went all Debo on the whole locker room. So I don't think we've talked about this. Fitterer and Rule came in the same year, right?
No.
Okay, that's why
we
haven't
did
talked
it backwards. That's actually the big problem with our building process.
Rule came before Fitterer.
Yes. And then they fired Marty Herney.
Because there's
Rule was hired by Herney.
Because everybody hates Rule. I don't hear anything about Fitterer.
Because he's new.
Okay.
He just came in last
right before the draft. And so we don't have enough evidence to really make a decision on him yet. But again, this goes and shows you like the building process and the way you do it is probably important. And I've been saying this for years, is that you should bring your GM in first, and then he brings the head coach, and they live and die together. They're married together, so that there's not one person blaming, like, well, if I would have had better personnel, then I could have done it. The other guy's saying, if we had better coaching.
The old Parcells, like, I buy the groceries, I should be able to cook the meal.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, and what I think is, I saw someone put this out on Twitter, and it's a good way of articulating exactly what I want to do, is why don't you make their contracts bound together? Right? It's like, you know what? When we fire one of you, you're both getting fired.
Both gone?
Yeah, I like that.
But then you're going to have to go and search for two different things and two top positions in your franchise.
It is a tough spot to be in, I guess, if you're Fitterer when a new head coach comes in and wants his own guy.
But I am ready for that situation where the Panthers get rid of Matt Rule to see what Fitterer, how he goes about with the coaching search and who he's going to hire. But I feel I've heard.
How much does the GM have a say in that?
Well, you would expect in a normal way, a normal business structure, they would have the say, all right? But is that when you do it backwards? Yeah, when you do it backwards like this, is it seems like you are kind of a puppet of David Tepper, right? And that's really what we're talking about here. Is whether it's like you want your commanders to walk lockstep together, and them to have more confidence in each other than we do. And that's really been a big problem with Matt Rule, is as he fires his whole staff and is doing all of this, it's one thing for us to say that it looks like the building's burning down, but when you fire everybody, you're admitting it's burning down. And so you want that GM to have belief in Matt Rule, and you want Matt Rule to believe that you and that GM are on the same page. And when you bring them in at separate times, it just creates that conversation, that speculation that maybe that isn't the case.
Well, ever since Fitterer has come into the Charlotte, haven't they been bumping heads and not being on the same page? Hasn't that been like an issue?
Well, we've seen some breadcrumbs that suggest it, but we don't know.
Did you know you might have slipped up and said the new name of the Washington football team a moment ago?
The Commanders?
Yeah. It's dropping Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday?
Wednesday, February 2nd.
I like that.
I don't mind that. I like it more than Admirals and what was the other military one they were thinking about? It's kind of boring and it's fine. People are going to make fun of it, but I can get on board with that.
Wasn't the Generals a team at one time?
That's the team that always loses to the Harlem Globetrotters. The Washington Generals.
Okay.
They get paid to lose basketball games.
That's awesome.
So, no jokes there, right? All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll dive into we'll see if there's any other NFL news and notes. 2 head coaches have been hired this cycle, I believe. Nathaniel Hackett and Eberflus. And we'll look at some of the other openings, what's going to happen at those landing spots, and see what's going on this weekend. Back with you after this.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates in ENC. Open 7 days a week. Plus, the Buck has live music every night, along with football. The Buck has a brand new 15-foot 4K screen, the only one in Greenville, and over 18 big screens with all your college and pro action. Sunday Fun Day will also be stocked with the biggest Bloody Mary and Mimosa bar, along with the NFL Sunday Ticket and food trucks out back. Check out the Buccaneer Music Hall. Open every day, noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night, and now football and food trucks during the day.
0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar, full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero, 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Domino's week-long carry-out deal means you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each every day. That's right, $7.99 each, and every day means any day. But just in case there's any confusion, we've set up a helpful website to confirm if today's a day you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each at Domino's. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's week-long carry-out deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes extra large and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size.
Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit QualityEquip.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with Copy Pro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. Copy Pro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at Copy Pro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
Copy Pro, we are the professional office systems people.
Safety comes first at Greenville Utilities. Did you know that by itself, natural gas is completely odorless? As a safety precaution, a chemical is added to the gas that gives it a distinctive and unpleasant odor. This allows you to detect the slightest amount of natural gas both indoors and outdoors. If you smell a strong odor of natural gas in or near your home, you should immediately call Greenville Utilities. GUC maintains staff around the clock in order to provide immediate response to emergencies such as natural gas leaks. You can count on GUC to keep safety job number one.
Here today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness. Dr. Jones, a lot of exciting new things going on.
Yes, so you may have seen our new facility, but we also have a private courtyard. There's an outdoor private area where we have artificial turf where it's fenced in, and we're going to be having our sunset yoga classes there. Those classes allow you to develop increased flexibility, more energy, and get better sleep. So come on and check those classes out today. Come by and see us, Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, Arlington Boulevard, or check us out online at kptonline.com.
Hi, this is Parker Bunch. When I'm not hitting dingers or going viral, I'm listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Well, keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio for 18 years. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Broad.
Hi, Tony Dunn. I was trying to cheer up Chandler earlier this week because we've had so much Panthers negativity. I came in here and we were doing the show, and I said, I got good news for the Panthers. Sean Payton is stepping down.
Oh, yeah.
That's good news, right?
Fish lips out of here.
For everybody to be, like, terrible. But it gives us...
It doesn't make you any better.
It gives us a chance, and I like that.
Well, I think another thing is Tom Brady might be out of Tampa.
That was another thing that we talked about. The potential of Brady retiring. You've got, Sean Payton leaving the Saints, and he will not be coaching next year in the NFL. He said that.
This is the Matt Rule plan. We don't have to get any better. Everybody around us gets worse.
Wouldn't it have been awesome if we were just positioned a little bit better for this moment?
Well, here's the thing. He said, I'm going to wait till the whole division sucks, but we're going to be the first team to suck.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have everybody come down to the bottom of the barrel with us.
And we're going to step on them. What are they, crabs in a bucket? Is that the saying? Where you keep pulling each other down? Crabs in a bucket?
There you go.
Well, that's basically it.
What is...
I don't think Tom Brady's retiring.
What's the deal with Matt Ryan? Is he a Falcon next year?
Ooh.
Because that's about donezo.
Yeah, I mean, and he's going to be making so much money. I don't know. I would suspect so. I mean, they kind of missed their opportunity to draft a quarterback last year.
And the Saints without Peyton, I like how Sean Payton's the last. You know what? I'm going to do one more thing before I head out the door. I'm going to give a lot of money to Taysom Hill, and then I'm going to leave.
Well, I think they can get out of all that stuff. It's like kind of a fake contract.
I still am a Jameis. What's one notch less than believer?
You're like
admirer.
You're like you got like a Jameis sidecar on a motorcycle.
I still think
not a tugboat. But,
yeah, I still think there's a world where he's like a playoff quarterback. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
he's like not an Avenger, but a spin-off story.
Also, they had the Michael Thomas stuff. I don't know, man.
And they're like $75 million over the cap.
Oh, and you mentioned Brady. This Bucks thing's ending soon. Like
I think
soon
so.
as
it was a short-term thing anyway.
2 or 3 years from now, like they're back middle of the pack, maybe.
Man, if they lose Brady, I mean, they're going to go down to the bottom of the pack right away.
But you think about Sue, like all those guys they brought in, Gronk's gone.
Yeah, they're on the back end. They were older team. Do you guys? Who do you think that Tom Brady would play for next year? We debated this on.
Okay, so if he's not a Buck, but he does play,
which I think he would. You know, I got Tennessee Titans. Vrabel going into a division that is in trouble. You know,
that's actually a perfect fit because they
offensive weapons. Derrick Henry.
Whenever he was looking for a new team when he was leaving New England, Tennessee was, I think, a top candidate for to land Tom Brady because of the connection with Mike Vrabel. I think he's thrown 2 touchdown passes to Mike Vrabel in their Super Bowl days. So
you know who he'd be great on, and I think this would be returning home for him, right? San Francisco.
That was the other one. That's the one that Cody took up in the debate.
Perfect.
The only thing I don't
and he grew up a 49ers fan.
Yeah, it's just are they too run heavy for him? Like he's going to go and be second fiddle to Kyle Shanahan.
But what's he got there? He's got a great tight end in Kittle.
Great defense.
He's got
Ayuk.
Whatever Debo Samuel position he plays.
Both would be good fits. It's just like, do you want to be in the AFC or you want to be in the NFC?
I think the answer is NFC.
Yeah, right now it is. Because the AFC got a bunch of heavy hitters in there.
Good text this week from Stephen Igo. I don't think I brought it up on the air. Andrew Mason tweeted, per over the cap, the Saints are $74 million over the cap. Thoughts and prayers to the next Saints next coach. And Igo sent poor David Culley.
Such a good tweet.
Poor David Culley is back.
He fits the perfect mold. They're in a mess. They're going to bring this guy
They don't care what happens.
They're going to be 7-9 with Taysom Hill and win the division.
And they're going to pay him everything they can. They're going to say, hey, we're going to pay you real good, but now look, we're going to fire you at the end of this season.
I know that the NFC is ideal for quarterbacks because you don't have to play the Herberts, the Mahomes, the Burrows and stuff. But if you go to San Francisco, you do got to deal with the Rams. You got to deal with the Cardinals. You know, so I mean, it's still a difficult road to the playoffs.
No doubt. 2 coaching hires have been made. Eberflus for the Bears and Nathaniel Hackett for the Broncos.
Who are these people?
Now, Nathaniel Hackett was the offensive coordinator with the Packers.
Okay,
So
all
the
right.
Broncos are using that. So they got he's probably got Aaron Rodgers' cell number. So maybe a connection there.
Probably.
And John Elway and the Broncos are tired of drafting crappy quarterbacks. They're going to go back to... Hey, remember that time we brought in Peyton Manning and won a Super Bowl? Let's go get Aaron Rodgers and do that.
Or go get Russell Wilson. Yeah. I wonder if this is like, why would Aaron Rodgers has the easiest division. You know, he's been so ready to get out of there, or one of the easier divisions. Then you're going to have to go and play Mahomes and Herbert every week. Good God.
He's in the best spot. I think for them, they are in a Saints situation, right? Where they got... How are they going to keep Adams and all of Rodgers' buddies? And so I don't know. Could look a lot different next year when it comes to the QBs. All right, let's get to the playoff
championship weekend, right?
All right, so up first is the AFC Championship. Bengals and Chiefs.
A rematch
of one of the best games of the NFL season.
Yes.
Chiefs are hosting the AFC Championship for the fourth straight year. First team to ever do that. Andy Reid is the first coach to be in 4 straight championship games with 2 different teams. Did it with the Eagles.
He had that many.
They dominated.
He's got to be the most underrated coach in NFL history.
Probably so. I'm glad he got his Super Bowl. So he's kind of got that on his resume now. Do you remember earlier this year when the Chiefs, when we thought like,
are they a mess?
Are they walking through the regular season, or are they actually just bad?
Yeah, because they had, and it wasn't just their
Mahomes throwing those crazy passes.
It wasn't just the defense that was giving up points, but their offense sputtered a lot during the season.
Mahomes was throwing picks.
Yeah, he was throwing all those picks. Those no-look passes were turning into no-look pick sixes.
Yeah, but they're hitting their stride now. Their one slip-up on the run they've been on was that game in Cincinnati.
And they didn't underplay that game either. You know, it was
they
like Cincinnati played well in that game. So it's not like they just showed that it was a bad game. I mean, they actually came and showed up. I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, I want to get on the Bengals bandwagon. In fact, I would classify myself as a Bengal bandwagoner at this point. But I saw Tyreek Hill play football and fast forward last week when he hit the deuces up. Like, he had 30 yards to go, and those guys were like in arm's reach of him, it felt like, and he was like, there ain't no way these dudes catching me. I have never seen somebody play so fast on the football field. I know there you could give me somebody else who might have a faster 40 time, or you could give me the Amazon Web Service, whatever speed thing that shows somebody else going 72 miles an hour. But that guy passes the eye test as the fastest player I've ever seen him pass. Like Bo Jackson fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just ain't right.
I heard a player say it. Sorry, I don't know. Can't remember who it was, so I can't give him credit. But he said one of the reasons Tyreek Hill flashed the piece was he saw that guy had a 5. Like, his number started with a 5, so it was a linebacker. So he didn't have to worry about being chased down. He knew he could zoom past him. He had that play. He had the punt return, which was huge in that game. And,
awesome,
of course, Kelsey's getting his. Mahomes looks great. They were Jerick McKinnon has played well for them.
Should he have gotten a taunting penalty for the deuces?
If you're going to have taunting in the NFL, that is taunting. Yes. The answer is yes. But
can he not be grandfathered in because he's been doing that the whole time?
That's a good point. Like, if you've done a taunt leading up to this point, you can keep it.
Wasn't the taunting rule started as it is right now because somebody did his taunt to him? Like his deuces taunt?
I think you might be right there.
Do you remember when San Francisco came to Carolina and beat us in a playoff game with Colin Kaepernick?
Mm-hmm. It was the first time we wore the old... Yeah.
Did the Superman and then buttoned it up?
Yeah.
And
then kissed his bicep like he always used to do.
Bit taunting? I would have been like, throw the flag.
Was it after a touchdown?
It was after a touchdown, and he was looking at at the fans. That wouldn't have been a taunting.
It was directed at my man.
See, this is why we shouldn't have these stupid rules, because now there are actual people discussing this.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I don't think the deuces thing should be a taunt. But considering what they call right now, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
If you do it to a guy in his face, that is.
Yeah, I mean, it is the
definition.
Yeah, it is the exact definition. The only thing is that, like, peace. Like, we've been doing that forever.
Yeah.
So fitting.
It's not he's giving the finger.
Get rid of the taunt penalty.
I agree.
You should just have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for things that go out and above craziness.
If he hits the physical.
Yeah.
So, Tom Brady got a unsportsmanlike last week.
He deserved it. I mean, he was like, I have never had blood on my body in a game before. What are you doing not calling a penalty?
Hurt.
My lip
Throw
hurt.
the flag.
I mean, it probably was a flag.
I'm just glad we know he is indeed human and like not just some kind of cyborg out there playing. He does have blood. Or that could have all been a setup.
He could have been like a vampire that just has that ring that he can go out in the daylight. All his championship rings allow him to walk out in the sun.
He's kind of the anti-vampire because he sucks at night. He's really good during day games. Remember the old man Brady couldn't win night games?
Past his bedtime.
Chiefs, how many times are they going to sack Joe Burrow?
Enough.
Yeah.
It'll be less than 9 because that was just unbelievable, but I'm going to say at least 5 or 6 times. Because that offensive line for the Cincinnati really bothers me in this game because, I mean, 9 sacks given up last week. Good thing they have a quarterback that knows how to, handle pressure and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of those sacks, too, came off or were on third down and created
because you probably got long situations.
It created long situations.
A lot of them were in field goal range too,
and knocking them out of field goal range, and that cannot happen this week in Kansas City, and that's the reason why I'm going to take Kansas City in this game.
Such an interesting storyline to follow if you're a Bengals fan or just an NFL rebuild fan is that this year they picked Jamar Chase in the top 10 and they could have gone and gotten an offensive lineman. And you're sitting here going, are you doing this the right way? This is poor. And in some ways, he's getting sacked on every other play, it feels like, but somehow he's good enough to overcome it. And Jamar Chase has been such an important part of their offense. It's just like, how is it the chicken or the egg type thing? And what do you do if you're a team like Carolina and it shows you that Sam Darnold is certainly no Joe Burrow?
Tony, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to talk about how I thought the Chase pick was stupid. Like, they've got T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and a tight end. You don't need a receiver. You need somebody to protect your quarterback. So I probably could send out like, hey, I was right. I told you so. Then again, the guy they drafted
has the best
numbers for a rookie receiver in NFL history.
Yeah.
So I can't really toot my own horn.
And they had to make up for the John Ross pick.
But give credit to the quarterback, Joe Burrow, like we just mentioned, is so good under pressure and handling those situations, unlike a quarterback that I know. So
how did that Sewell guy do this year? By the way, does anybody know?
I think he was the all rookie team.
Very good.
And who was the other tackle?
Slater, who was the best left tackle in all of the NFL.
Stop! We're not talking about Matt Rule right now.
I was just going to say, he's a guard.
I know. You know what? Is that if I was sitting right here, I would not have to worry about Rashawn Slater because he wouldn't be able to touch me with his short arms.
So,
what are you going to do about it?
What's like a dinosaur?
It's like you can do what
T-Rex arms.
You can just put your hand on his head. He's just like this. That's what they did in the interview. In the interview, or like in the interview process at the draft or at the combine. That's what they did.
So
they're like, nah, you're
like,
good.
This guy made me play paper, rock, scissors, and then I went to this team, and they had a basketball player come and put his hand on my head and see if I could touch his chest.
He's actually got a really good vertical, but his arms are so short he couldn't tap the bars up there. So it turns out,
and his head.
Those were the two names clearly at the top for O linemen.
Yeah.
They both, at least their rookie years, panned out.
Yeah.
Okay. Tony and CJ went against the Chiefs last week.
Yeah.
Tony is with them this week. How about you, CJ?
Yeah, I won't be making that mistake again.
You won't get fooled again?
Nope, not twice.
But you know what? We weren't wrong in a way. We were only wrong because it didn't go. They didn't fall. Like, we didn't win the coin toss.
Yeah.
In overtime. And how
13 seconds.
Yeah. How is this? They put up more points in the final 2 minutes of that game than the Panthers put up in the last 8 weeks. I feel like, I haven't gone and done the math, but I could certainly feel like
Sounds
it
about right.
is that this last 2 minutes, was there any more incredible quarterback play in the history of football in that stance. And isn't it wild that we're kind of overlooking the Bills and how good they were in so many parts of that game, Josh Allen, because they're just not in this week's game. And gosh, can a defense make a dang stop?
And that's one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the league.
Well, they weren't last week.
And it's one of the arguments. There's a big deal going on right now about the is it Mina Kimes?
Mina Kimes.
And
Jeff Garcia.
I saw one of her tweets about how the win-loss record to describe a quarterback is, severely outdated and overrated. And you think about it, like Josh Allen deserved to win, right? Did Jimmy Garoppolo, play well enough to win the other day? I don't know. He made a few.
He's absolutely right.
I know.
And Jeff Garcia needs to shut up.
Well, Jeff Garcia called out all of us because he says, "When's the last time you threw a football in a game?" Well, never for me. You ever thrown a football in a game? You snap one.
No.
All right.
It's not.
I mean, think about all the other people he's throwing under the bus.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, like scientists who study space who haven't been to space.
Joe Buck.
I don't like when people say stuff like former football players say stuff like that just to try to use the trump card basically and say I did it and you didn't, so I'm right. Like that doesn't mean that other people didn't spend entire lives studying this and watching it, and they can understand how this works too, despite not having the physical attributes to play.
And like Tony said, if you're going to go down that line of thinking, then you are not qualified to really talk about anything other than football, right?
Right.
Other than being a quarterback. He can't even talk about being a receiver.
No.
So
he doesn't even know what it feels like to sack a guy. He only knows what it feels like to get sacked. So how about that? Don't teach me nothing, boy.
I mean, but there's also film study in a lot of these experts' lives. I mean, you guys sit there and you guys go through film for these players.
Cody is in a wheelchair. Cody is in a wheelchair. He's like, he cannot do anything. He can't talk about walking.
Jeff Garcia is going up to Cody in a wheelchair saying, "Hey, when's the last time you played football?"
What are you going to walk out there on that football field? When's the last time you walked out on a football field?
Wait a minute. Are you talking about football?
Oh.
I'm trying to think of why.
What about how many coaches? Isn't there some irony that is like so many of the greatest? John Madden,
Bill Belichick. Did he play football?
Like it's just crazy.
The offensive coordinator of the 49ers did not play football, and he criticized Jimmy Garoppolo.
And he's the hottest name around right now. I was thinking, it's like, imagine if you can't talk about a book if you've never written a book.
I brought that up just to say that one of her arguments was about, he won the game, but he stunk in the game.
And I used
Josh
to like
Allen
Jeff Garcia, to be honest, as a football player. And
I tell you what, that year, and I guess there were several, but I remember my roommate had T.O. and I had Garcia in fantasy, and they would put up monster numbers every week. It was fun. Shirley, Bengals at Chiefs, who you got?
As much as I would like to see the Bengals succeed, I just don't think that Mahomes is going to make enough mistakes for the Bengals to prevail. So Chiefs.
I wish I had the onions to pick the Bengals, but I don't. So we'll all go Chiefs. When we return, one more segment to go. We'll talk Niners, Rams, and make our picks on that one. Back with you here on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2022 GMC Sierra 1500 and save up to $2,000 off. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go. Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay, and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com, or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey, cheesy, crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously. But as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
This is Coach Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. You can join the close to 51,000 followers today. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, Free Beer Friday here on Pirate Radio Live. We'll make you a winner coming up in hour number 3. Free Beer Friday brought to you by Bud Light. Every day, especially game day, is better with an ice cold Bud Light today. Give you something a little different. A Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack can be yours. You can get this 12-pack if you are a lucky caller in hour number 3. Bud Light, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989, and the official beer of the ECU Pirates.
I feel like Bud Light is like always coming out with something new. It's just constantly, bringing out new ideas.
This seltzer thing has taken over. It's the newest trend, fad, whatever.
Well, I think I saw a billboard that Bud Light, I believe, is coming out with a zero-carb beer, which is right up my alley because I'm a low-carb guy.
Tony, remember I used to work at the Trade Mart in Winterville, and
we got some good stories.
But back then,
did y'all work together?
No,
this is like late
just
90s,
hung out together,
early 2000s. Like the Mike's Hard Lemonade had come out, and Smirnoff Ice had those were the trend. There's always like a trendy type of thing going on.
The thing is, if you look, I got suckered in one day and bought those Mike's Hard Lemonade and never had them before, and it was just because they were on sale. And I was like, oh, I'm on the seltzer kick to try to save some calories and some things, and I didn't check the back of it. There's like a ton of calories in the Mike's Hard Lemonade. You got to really watch where you get your stuff. And 0 carbs, that's impossible. I know that they're going to say that, but it's like one of those things where they say 0 calories, and it just must be under the threshold by like 1 micromillimeter to be 0 carbs. There's got to be half a carb or something.
There's going to be some sort of carb, but it'll
be called water at that point.
Redbeard sharing a Pat McAfee show tweet with us. It says the Cincinnati Bengals are the first team since the inception of indoor practice facilities to make it to the conference championship of their conference without an indoor practice facility.
Yeah.
Not true.
Greg Olson debunked that real quick.
Okay, so the Panthers did that?
In 2015?
Yeah, and 2003.
All right.
And
Pat McAfee, you are a liar.
They practiced
Or he just doesn't know anything.
Or he made a mistake.
He shouldn't be talking about that. He was only a kicker.
That is true. What does he know about?
What does he know about practice facilities?
What does he know about construction?
I know.
And being an architect. We all picked the Chiefs. I hope we got some dissenting. I have to pick the Rams here. Been on them since the beginning. And I do think they can win, and they're primed for a Super Bowl run here. And one of the main reasons is Von Miller looks like he's a rookie again.
Dude, he's just constantly in the backfield for the Rams.
Drafted the same year as Cam Newton.
And you're adding him to... Yeah, that's right. 2011.
I know, it's been a while. It's been a while.
So, like, what, 10 years in the league this year, 11? So, and
missed some time with
pairing
major
him up
injury.
with Aaron Donald is just not fair.
Did you, CW was telling me at Sports Trivia that they were putting Aaron Donald on the edge in that game. They were
moving him around.
Yeah, sometimes. And that, like, what they would do is that they had a backup left tackle in because the Riffs guy was out. And they would just, like, cycle Von Miller and Aaron Donald on that
The
poor
Bucs
guy.
were having to put Gronk in as basically like an extra right tackle or left tackle.
That is not like rocket science or anything, but it does make me appreciate McVay, Shanahan, Andy Reid, these coaches that are still here playing and how innovative they are. The way Shanahan uses Debo is pretty simple.
He's the best coach. I think
but
he's the
like
best
you don't
coach in
see
the
a lot
NFL
of teams do that.
Right.
Like find a way to get your guy the ball no matter what it takes.
And it actually work.
Yeah.
But something I've mentioned a couple times this week, but the coolest thing I saw was like putting Trent Williams in motion.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
so
just little stuff, but it's like against the grain kind of.
You know, I think Shanahan gives San Francisco a chance, like a puncher's chance to win this game. And you know what? They did exactly... You know, if they come out and get a lead ahead of a team, it's like it's going to be just hard because they have such a good defense and they are able to run the ball and limit the amount of possessions you get. But I have underestimated, you know, I'm on the Rams bandwagon now since they smoked the Cardinals. You know, I was trying to figure out what team is a fraud. You know, you had Matt Stafford. In fact, a question I did not get right on Sports Trivia was who had the most interceptions this year.
I missed that too.
Matt Stafford had a bad stretch down the late stretch, and I heard a lot of people talking about how they covered Matt Stafford in Detroit, and they just can't believe that he's going to get it done when the time calls for it to get done. So, but he's proven it in 2 games now.
He was good. He was really good last week. You look at a team that had 4 turnovers with Matt Stafford at quarterback. You're like, none of those were his.
Right.
Akers. You had Cooper Kupp even coughing the football up in that game.
So I'm going Rams here, but I don't think that the San Francisco 49ers are out of it, but I don't think they're going to win because of Jimmy G. Let's just put it that way, folks.
As crazy as it sounds
Jeff
like,
Garcia, sorry.
The Bills gave up 2 drives in like a minute 40, whatever. I think shame on the Bucs more than the Bills for letting Cooper Kupp get open twice.
Big time, 70 yards twice or whatever.
And one time just like running free down the middle of the field.
Didn't they blitz over half the
They said
defense on that play?
some people didn't get the call or whatever. That's not a good time for your defense not to know what's going on on the field. I'm taking the Rams, Tony.
Rams.
I'm going to go Rams too. At home, special teams is not going to be able to help you out. You can't rely on your special teams every.
You say at home, it is at home. I heard a Rams fan on Pick Central. He called in today. He said by the way, the 49ers have beaten the Rams 6 times in a row. I don't know if that matters to you.
That is a stat to consider.
Also, the callers.
Say that one more time.
Kyle Shanahan owns McVay and the Rams 6 in a row.
Ooh.
Yeah. Including 2 this year.
God, I'm glad you didn't say that before I made my pick. It might have been enough to sway me over.
But he said the last Rams-Niners game he went to, it was 60-40 Niners fans. He thinks this time it'll be 50-50 split.
I think the Rams were doing something to make sure that the tickets weren't going the wrong way.
Yeah, I thought I saw that too.
They limited to inside the city limits. You had to put in your zip code.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Panthers need to do that.
All right, CJ, Niners, Rams.
I'm going to go Rams as well.
I don't like this.
49ers haven't impressed me. If they win again on a third ugly game in a row, I'll be shocked. But I can't pick them to win an ugly game. So I got to go Rams.
We were so close, Clip, as at the beginning of the season, I think I asked on this show is pick 2 teams to make the Super Bowl that were not the Bucks and the Chiefs. And we went Rams, Bills.
Yeah.
We were so close to getting it.
Yeah. We were 13 seconds or a coin flip away.
It was 1 quarterback away.
Shirley, pick the 49ers so everybody doesn't have the Rams.
But I don't want to pick the 49ers.
Damn it. You take the Rams?
Yeah,
So
I
we're
like the
all
49ers
betting on the
defense. I
49ers.
just don't think their offense can produce enough points to defeat the Rams.
We will all have the same record this weekend.
But if you want me to go the opposite way, I'll go the opposite way.
I want you to pick with your heart and your head, not my influence.